Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner here on YouTube. And don't forget to leave us a like and a comment.
And you can share with a friend if you enjoy it, and subscribe so you're notified of new videos.
Thanks and enjoy the show.
These trees make this backyard nice and comfortable. We're about to make it even nicer.
Today's Homeowner with Danny Lipford, the voice of home improvement, with projects, tips, and ideas to help you improve your home.
Over the last 40 years, there's a number of things that have been done to this backyard to improve it. Landscaping, paver patio. Years ago, a couple concrete slabs were poured to provide more of an outside living area, but it was all done at different times and it really just doesn't flow together as well as it could. We're about to change that with the help of a landscape architect who's in the process of designing this wonderful large deck built completely out of composite materials. Then we'll be recoating the top of the concrete slabs, cutting score joints in it to create this pattern, staining it. That'll improve the appearance of those slabs. Also, we'll be adding a hot tub, a play structure, and a storage building, and a number of other little projects that'll completely transform the backyard of this home. And along the way, hopefully, you'll pick up some ideas that you can use at your home. Stay with us. Well, it's obvious we've gotten a great start on our today's backyard project by removing a lot of the old trees and shrubs that were so overgrown in the back part of this property. We plan on allowing the grass to grow right back up against our new privacy fence that we'll be putting in a little bit later. Now, our landscape architect is still fine-tuning all of our backyard, but he was able to provide us details so that we can move forward with the building of our composite deck. Now, this will take a little while to put all of this together, so we wanted to go ahead and get started on it, and visually we were able to show you how the deck will lay out by using some marking paint. Now, this is latex paint, so it's a great way to really show how a flower bed may go in your yard, or a porch, or almost anything. After a couple rains, it'll all go away. But our deck will come out around 12 feet. Then it'll have a little corner cut off of it on a 45-degree angle. Then we'll move along here and we'll have a set of 8-foot wide steps here, which many times on a deck like this will double as some extra seating when you have a lot of people over. Then we have another 45-degree cut here, another set of steps that'll lead down to the adjacent patio, and then we'll leave this area open so that we can plant some really nice plants right at the end of the project. Now again, the deck will take a little time, so we wanted to go ahead and get started on it. Although the surface of the deck will be composite, the framing beneath the surface will be pressure-treated lumber because composites are not designed to provide that structural strength. These posts are connected around the deck perimeter by the band joist, and the middle of the deck is filled in with more joists nailed every 16 inches and reinforced with metal joist hangers. When the framing is complete, our landscape architect, Jim Crow, drops by to see the progress. Jim, I always recommend to homeowners using a landscape architect because you guys do it all the time and you're able to really help visualize what it'll look like when it's all done.
Yeah, we do quite a bit of master planning, and it's great to go do a master plan for a homeowner. Has everything on the drawing, tells them what goes where, and they have a plan to go by. They can follow it and they can implement it over a period of time.
Right, yeah, that's the good thing. You don't really have to do it all at one time because it can get expensive to do all of the planning and everything, but to be able to have, you know, that continuity through the different stages that you do it in.
That's right, and that's the thing that sells a master plan usually.
Yeah, makes sense. Now, the deck turned out really good. We're ready for our synthetic material to go on this, our composite decking, but just simply cutting the corner off of this really added an element to this deck.
Yeah, we didn't want to make just a boxy deck that was very common. We wanted to cut a little corner, make a little pocket planting in this area, a little pocket planting over here, give a little interest to the deck.
Right, almost a place that you can view over into the hot tub here once this is complete. And now we've got this formed up, so they'll be pouring this slab. And I understand your vision here is that this surface, the adjacent surface, as well as the carport all be the same.
We want to use a stained colored concrete on the carport, on the terrace, and on our hot tub area. That will give us a continuity in materials. All of our outdoor areas will be the same material. Everything's real simple, clean.
Yeah, that'll really look nice. I tell you, we found a little surprise back here that wasn't very pleasant once we removed all of the overgrown shrubs. Kind of an ugly sight back there.
Yeah, it looks like we have a little concrete shed that we may want to screen. The existing bamboo is a great element. We're going to leave it and let it do its thing down there to screen, and then we're going to add some large evergreen shrubs in this area to screen that end of the storage building. And then our utility building, our storage building, will fit right in that corner, and it'll also help screen some of that.
Okay, yeah, that'll help block it a little bit. And then it's going to be kind of fun putting this play structure in between it here.
And we're going to connect here from the hot tub area on over to a playground. It's going to be defined by wood timbers and have a safety mulch in it and have a nice playground area that'll orient to the yard and yet be under the canopy of the trees here.
Yeah, and then all the fencing around here will really tie it together. Now, on the plan, one thing that you did, I thought, a great job at is really considering all of the trees that we have here and utilizing them in the plan, and then adding a few other plants to kind of balance it all out.
Well, we supplemented the nice canopy of trees by putting some small scale evergreen shrubs, flowering shrubs, and then adding some accent trees, pedestrian scale trees underneath the oak trees, to give us a nice scale of plantings.
Yeah, well, this is going to be great. I hope you check back with us in the weeks ahead as we put this thing together, and you stay with us. We'll be right back after our Simple Solution of the Week.
It's time for this week's Simple Solution from home repair expert Joe Truini.
Many homeowners have discovered what a professional looking paint job they can get by using painter's tape.
The great thing about this tape is it has a quick release adhesive, so you can stick it onto a piece of painted trim like this, and when you remove it later, it won't peel off the paint. In this case, we're running it along the piece of trim, then I'm going to hang some lightweight plastic underneath it and drape it down, so when we paint the upper wall area, no paint will get on the trim or the paneling below.
Now, Joe, what do you think of the tape dispensers that are out on the market with the handle and you pop the tape on and you use it? What do you think?
Well, those are great for applying tape to broad surfaces, but to get it along the edge, they don't work so well. And also, they're so bulky, they don't fit in your pocket, and there's no place to lay them down, because typically when you're painting a room, you take all the furniture.
That's true, yeah.
So what I prefer to do to keep the tape handy is just make this little holder from a bent wire hanger. Just bent it into a U-shaped and bent the ends over so it would fit onto my belt, and you can see it just holds the tape really well. And when you want a piece, you just peel it off, tear it.
That's real similar to what the drywall guys use to hold their tape.
And it makes it really quick and easy to apply the tape, and you always know where it is. It's right at your side whenever you need it.
We're back out on our Today's Backyard project. Things are really moving along well, especially with one of our focal points, our large composite deck. Now, we showed you how we frame the entire deck using treated wood, which is very important because composite material itself is not a structural material, so you have to have that framework under it. But the last couple days, the focus has been on the composite decking itself. The product we're using here is a new one called the Earthwood Plank from TimberTech. Each of these boards is 1 inch thick by 5.5 inches wide and is designed to mimic the look of tropical hardwood without all the maintenance. Stainless steel screws are the preferred fasteners for most composites, and here we pre-drilled each screw location for a consistent appearance. This rail system also starts with a composite substrate, but it's covered with a vinyl cap that looks like a glossy paint finish. Unlike a painted rail though, the Radiance rail never needs to be repainted, and its design conceals the fasteners used to put it all together. One of the main advantages in using a composite decking material is that there's virtually no maintenance at all required. A little bit of cleaning from time to time, and if the oak leaves are falling like they are today, there'll definitely be some leaf blowing or sweeping that'll be necessary to keep the deck looking nice, but none of the traditional staining and sealing that's necessary on a wood deck. And the handrails and the coating that we have over the rails will require no maintenance at all in the years ahead. Now, that's what we're trying to do with this entire backyard, and all of the elements that we're putting into this backyard is to keep it as maintenance free as possible. That way the homeowners here can really enjoy their backyard instead of spending all of their time keeping it looking good. Now, we've embraced that same idea on the fencing that we're installing, which is a vinyl fence that'll go all the way around the back of the yard. The materials have already arrived and the installation has already started. Unlike a wood fence, this system goes together on the ground with the prefabricated panels snapping into the post. Then the whole unit attaches to a post from the previous section in the same way. So all that's left is to level the post and secure them with concrete. This ease of installation is just one of the reasons vinyl is becoming a popular option for fences.
Vinyl fencing has really grown in size in the last 4 to 7 years. The biggest reason for that is because of its low maintenance properties. Other than washing it once or twice a year, it will look as beautiful the day you put it in as it will 20 years from then. The other reason we have a lot of homeowners interested in it, your home is your biggest investment, therefore your fence should look like it's part of that investment. We also like the color fastness of this product. It does not need painted year after year. It's a beautiful product year after year, year in and year out. And the final reason everybody likes it, it comes with a lifetime warranty. So you can trust in the fact that your fence will last you for the lifetime of your home.
As the fence is going up, the concrete truck arrives so we can pour our leveled cap slab for the spa. This is a small pour, but it'll support a lot of weight and must be dead on level for the spa to operate properly. We also get a delivery of topsoil, which we're spreading out to get the yard closer to level and to correct some of the drainage issues. Boy, our Bobcat has saved us a lot of shoveling with all the dirt we brought in. Also, our fencing is going great. The vinyl fencing is almost complete. They have a little bit more, a little bit of gate work, and that'll be complete. Now, to keep our topsoil from washing away in the rain that we're expecting tonight, we put down a little bit of straw to kind of hold it in place. And then to keep it from washing into the neighbor's yard, we put up a little bit of silt fencing in front of the vinyl fencing. Now, this is designed to allow the water to pass through, but will prevent any of the dirt from escaping the backyard. Also, while we had the Bobcat out on the job, we scraped all of the grass off of this and lowered it down a little bit. This will be forming up, putting in our playground safe mulch, and this will be where our play structure will be. Of course, our slab is ready for our hot tub, and you can see the guys are completing a little bit of the skirt board on our new composite deck. Right now, check out our best new product of the week.
Let's join Danny at the Home Center to check out this week's best new product.
This week we're creating a wonderful backyard, and one of the key elements to having a nice yard is to make sure you have no bare spots in your lawn. Now, there's a lot of different types of seed that's available to address that problem, but we found one from Vigoro that has been genetically engineered to be a self-repairing grass. Now, there's several different types to choose from, and it depends on where you live in the country and what type of climate you experience and whether or not the grass that you're working on is in the sun or the shade. Now, this particular one is designed for a sunshade lawn and contains 3 different types of grasses that are mixed together. One is a Kentucky bluegrass, another is a fine fescue grass, and the third being a perennial ryegrass, all working together to rapidly cover that area that may be bare in your yard. Now, to use this to repair some of those bare spots, all you have to do is take a garden rake and kind of scar up the ground a bit, then broadcast the seed in the area, and very important to keep it moist for several days so that it germinates properly. Now, you can also use this in existing lawns to overseed in order to really strengthen the look of the grass, and it can be used on new lawns as well. Our new composite deck is completely finished and ready for the patio furniture that will be delivered very soon. Now, yesterday we had a number of loads of topsoil delivered because we decided in order for this yard to look perfect, we would need to resod the entire backyard after the landscapers finish all of the planting of all of the beds going around the outside perimeter of it. Now, spreading the topsoil will allow us to level everything out, and the new sod will just flourish. Now, another thing that happened yesterday is we had a load of mulch delivered, and it was a playground safe mulch, and it's about 6 inches deep in here, and this should serve for a very good area for our play structure that will be delivered in just a couple days. But today, our storage building is being assembled. Once the floor is assembled, leveled, and decked, the walls start going up. This 10 by 14 shed from Handy Home Products is being installed with the help of the Home Depot's at-home services. And because these guys do this all the time, the building goes up quickly. Many of these elements are even pre-cut, so they only need to be positioned and nailed together on site. The cool thing about these buildings is they go up so quickly. In less than a day, we've added over 140 square feet of storage space, and they're available in a ton of different styles and options. Now, the only thing Chris has left on this building is the flower boxes that he's working on now and a few shingles on the roof. Now, while Chris has been busy over here, a lot of activity out in the yard with all of the plants have been brought in by the landscaper, and they're in the process of leveling out the topsoil so that we can plant all new sod in the backyard. Now, we've put a lot of emphasis on low maintenance approach to this entire backyard, but the fact is millions of different homes have wood fences, decks, and siding, and that wood has to be protected. This is the style home that does require maintenance. It's a contemporary style home that was built back in the 70s, and there's wood everywhere. Now recently the homeowner applied one coat of a penetrating wood finish over the entire outside of the home that both stained and sealed all of the wood siding. Now this will protect it from the two biggest enemies of wood, and that's water and sunlight. Now he's about to do the exact same thing to this wood deck that was built about 1.5 years ago. It had gotten fairly dirty, so the first step was to use a power washer to remove all of the dirt and grime that had accumulated on the surface of the wood, and now it's completely dry and he's ready to go to work applying the finish. If you're using multiple gallons of stain, you'll want to mix them together for consistency. First, you'll cut in around the edges with a synthetic brush. To cover the middle, these guys are rolling on the stain and back brushing with a pole-mounted scrub brush. This forces the stain into all of the cracks and gaps and spreads out any puddles for an even finish. Boy, this wood looks a lot better, and it should last a lot longer. Now the material that we used, as I mentioned earlier, is designed to be applied to wood that's been weathering out in the elements for at least 1 year. But if you have a new project in mind where you may be building a deck or a new fence, there are also products available for that new wood to keep it from cracking and splitting. Here on the Today's Backyard location, we're getting ready for the delivery of our new hot tub tomorrow, so the slab had to be ready. Now we improved the look of it considerably by laying out 3-foot by 3-foot diagonal patterns on the slab and then scoring the lines that you see by using a regular circular saw and an abrasive blade to cut these grooves about 1/8 of an inch deep. Then we cleaned everything off and applied one coat of acrylic silicone concrete stain and really improved the look of this considerably. Hey, things are getting pretty exciting around here.
Let's head outside for Around the Yard with lawn and garden expert Tricia Craven-Worley.
When you ask someone advice on what's the right mixture for establishing a new planting bed, you'll get just as many opinions as the number of people that you ask about it. Let's see what Tricia says.
Well, Danny, what you say is true. There are so many ways to put together a good soil. But I have a particular mix that I feel is pretty fail-safe, and that is to use 4 parts of potting soil and 1 part of compost, and then about 1/2 part of bone meal and 1/4 part of Epsom salts. Let me show you. Now, the Epsom salts that we use, you think that it's salt, but it's actually a magnesium sulfur. And why we put this in is it gives some mineral addition to the soil. It works out really,
now,
really well.
what about the bone meal? What exactly does that contribute?
Oh, bone meal is so important for establishing good roots. And bone meal is something that a lot of people that plant bulbs, they know all about bone meal. And again, it really lends a very important part to the soil. There is nitrogen and phosphate, 2 very important minerals that make it a rich soil.
Okay, and basically you just mix it all together, and I'll tell you what, once you do get it mixed, you can tell that's some pretty rich stuff.
Oh, isn't it beautiful?
We have already made a giant difference in the look of this backyard, and if you think about what it looked like before we started this project, there was a lot of plants in the backyard, but they were very poorly maintained and very overgrown, and there just wasn't a clear direction on the look of the overall backyard. Well, now with the plan from our landscape architect, we're ready to make this the outdoor paradise that we've planned all along. Now you can see our landscapers already started on the implementation of that plan, and we've already completed our composite deck, our vinyl fencing, our slabs ready for our hot tub to be delivered, our playground area is ready for the play structure, and our storage building is almost complete. Now next week it all comes together, including some really unique elements that I know you could use in your own yard. Hey, join us next week. Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner. And don't forget to like, comment, and hit the bell icon so that you'll be notified of new videos.
And be sure to click around and watch some more videos while you're here.